Yeah, so this is a fair use from the Act of 1976. Disclaimer, Section 107, under critical and teaching and scholarship and educational purposes, research. I am not making any money off this. This is fair use, fair use. Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bracha HaKodash. I'd like to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, right? Call Halalyum Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. You know, for all the apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, your Chwatim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson.
That this thing could transmit to humans. It has that ability. They didn't think that it did, but now they know that it can. A new COVID-like bat virus has sparked pandemic fears after scientists discovered it can infect human cells. Researchers from the UK and Kenya found that an alpha coronavirus dubbed CCCOV-KY43 can bind to a receptor found in the human lung. They didn't originally think that this could do that. These are the hard-nosed bats, mainly in eastern Africa, including parts of Kenya and eastern Sudan and northern Tanzania. They've done tests. These tests suggest that it can jump to humans. It has not done that as of yet, but that threat is still there. And so now it is sparking a lot of pandemic fears. Human receptors that they could potentially bind to, they found that this particular one, the CCCOV-KY43, was the only one to successfully enter human cells in their testing. They said that the finding both identifies a potential threat to human health. They added, and shows the need to enhance pandemic preparedness and prevention efforts. So we know when they start talking about prevention efforts, you know they're talking about that jab. And I've shown you where the WEF has come out and, actually said that COVID was really a test to see how obedient people would be to the pandemic. How many people would follow rules and regulations? How many people would actually go and get stuck and get that vaccine? And they were not satisfied with how many people did not do it. Now, while many people did, many did not. So that leads us to what I'm going to share with you right now. And this guy's giving his thoughts on what he feels actually took place during this COVID period, which we're still in COVID. People are still getting COVID, just a lot of people not being tested, a lot of people just riding it out.
I know people would be like, you're a conspiracy theorist, but I work construction. I'm an essential worker, even if you don't want to admit it. So nobody cared. They just needed work done. However, COVID, you couldn't go out, do anything. You couldn't, you had to show proof of being vaccinated. At first was a paper, next was an app. And kind of made me think of the book of Revelations. And this is what this post talked about, was that that was a test from Satan to see, because Satan runs this is his kingdom. He even offered it to Jesus when Jesus was in the wilderness, and the devil was tempting him, saying, I'll give you all these kingdoms. He was like, well, it is written. And this is where it's so important that we rely on scripture, because this is the end times. COVID was a test. Now, that didn't get the COVID vaccine, yet lost their consider saving people's lives for years. How does that not relate to a Christian that would not take would not take the mark of the beast? How does that, like, is anybody not seeing the comparison in this? Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if you don't believe in any conspiracy, you're a dumbass. There's obviously a lot of truth in the Bible, and I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. Jesus is king, he rose from the dead, and he is the only way that we get to heaven. John 14:6 says, Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through me. And then it also says in Revelations that if you take the mark of the beast, you will not get to heaven. So don't you think, if you really think now, if you actually listen to that, think about this. If you say take the COVID vaccine and this, that, and this, and you play it into that, but then the mark of the beast comes along, and then all of a sudden you're not allowed to eat, can't live, can't pay your rent, can't do this, that's the currency, that's this and that. Are you all going to fall into sin? Are you all going to give up eternal life with Jesus and the Father and the Holy Spirit just to get a meal? So I've seen this.
Now, I want to get rid of 3 billion people, not just because of whatever, just because I don't like poor people. This is their reasoning. They say it's because there's too many people on this earth. Okay, I guess too many people breathing the air, using the water, and all of this stuff. Like, they have monopolized air, water, sun, and all of that they're willing to get rid of 3 billion people. And here we are talking about yet another variant that has the ability to jump to humans. So I can't tell you what to do, but I give you all.
Yeah, so this is 2nd Esdras chapter 5 verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as the coming of tokens, which are the prophecies, right? Because token means signs, and the signs are the prophecies, right? Showing you that you're close to the end, right? And that's what the Lord said, that by these you should know that that I'm upon my coming. Because they asked, the disciples asked, which became apostles, asked Yahushua, how do we know when you're coming? And he gave it the signs. You know, it should be wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, right? Famines, right? And these are the things that's coming upon the earth. And when you have a great war obviously unalives people. Pestilence actually unalive people, right? And famine unalives people. You know, takes a little longer, but eventually you get unalived, right? So that is what the tokens behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. The days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken, right, unalived, in a great number, right? So massive amount of people. And she even said it. This is, it's about 3 billion people. But really it's more than that, because according to the Georgia Guidestone, there's roughly about 8 billion people on the earth. So in order to get down to the number that they would want, it would have to be 7.5 billion people. Or if it's even more than that, say there's 9, right? It would still have to be 8.5 billion people to unalive in order to get to the number, to the 500 million of of new novus order seclorum citizens that they say that they want, right? Which is how you know that Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, has to intervene for the elect's sake. And this is why the Lord's shortening the times, which obviously the elite can see that the time is being shortened, right? They don't necessarily believe in the Lord, but they can see what the tokens, signs, even on the left hand side, right? That their window of opportunity is closing to micro-hip the world in order to throw off prophecy. So therefore, they're full steam ahead, right? This what was they calling it before? Because even before Trump left office and then they brought in Biden, Trump was speaking about Operation Warp Speed, right? And he was talking about it like it's like an agenda that's going to benefit everybody, but it's really only for the elite, And now that he's back, which was always Operation Warp Speed, even under Biden, because they were already pushing forth the worldwide pestilence, right? Which they're going to bring it back, which is going to take in great number, those that dwell upon the earth. And the way of truth shall be hidden. See, in this time, the famine of the word is going to be in the world, right? And it's going to be far worse because it's going to be a lot of disparity, no hope, right? And the land shall be barren of faith. See, it's going to be no hope, right? Because you scoffed at the men of the Lord at every opportunity. You deny the truth for those who it's really for, but you follow pursuit of the Edomite, man, a vocab Malone who's unable. The Lord said that the wicked shall not understand, right? You just lay down your life trying to follow the wicked because those black, even though you're a so-called black or Hispanic or Native Indian, we come from the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations you come from. We come from where you come from, so who will have more compassion upon you, right? Someone who comes from where you from, who's looking towards righteousness, or somebody who's just telling you that it's about righteousness, though they great robbed and murdered to get where they're at. Even if you think about the citizens, well, I never did that. I'm not rich. Yeah, but you benefit. White privilege is a real thing. When and you see it. When they can lash out at the police with knives and all sorts and not get gunned down, that is white privilege, man. Right? But you as a Jake, you could be cooperating. Yes, sir, I'll grab you. Yeah, you need me to grab this? Need me to do that? Yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir. And you go to reach for you and you get gunned down for cooperating. Hey, man. But you Jakes, you'll fall for it, you'll this chick unalive your brother, and she'll go to court and you'll hand her a Bible and say, I forgive you. But if it was a Jake, you be like, you deserve to die. I help you burn it. You've been saying all sorts of matter of vile things against your own brother if it was a Jake. But then since it's an Edomite, you're gonna hand her this chick a goddamn Bible and tell you that you forgive her, man. That is crazy. You people are sick, right? But iniquity shall be increased above that which which now thou seest. And wickedness is, hey, that's a wicked thing in itself, right? But it's gonna increase because, hey, you're gonna need your daddy, the Edomite, to survive, man. You are your father, the devil, Esau, Edom, man. And a lot of you gonna be snitching and trying to tell on us. Oh yeah, I seen the Hebrew Israelite over there. You know, please, Mr. West, give me the micro. See, I want to eat. I need to protect my family. I got bills to pay. I'm a good slave, right? Or that thou hadst heard long ago, right? Yeah, so this is Amos chapter 6, verse 8. And it says, Adonai, most high power, Yahweh, have sworn by himself, right? Yahweh, through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, right? He swore by himself, right? Saith Yahweh, the power most high of hosts, right? So through Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai of hosts meaning armies, I abhor the excellency of Jacob, right? So that's you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man. See, because the Lord is abhorring you, right? He's fed up with your antics, your you know, with your constant disrespect for him, his son, and his men, the men of the Lord. You have a constant disrespect, and you know, you go about to do your own thing in this world, right? So though you're Jacob, the Lord's not finna leave you altogether unpunished, right? Because the Lord what? And it says, and I hate their places, right? The Lord hates what you're doing. Hates the place where you're at in your life. Plantation Christianity you believe in, Islam, gang banging, drug dealing, you know, male on male, woman on woman. You know, you even get into the certain avenues and you know, start making money, and you start doing the things that the Esau does. You know, that's why, you know, you have a thing where they're like Diddy, you know, they're putting him out to the pasture, you know, even though they're guilty for doing far worse. He on the chopping block for some things, right? Because you got rich and thought, I'm rich and these other Edomites do this, so I'm good. And as long as I you know, obey the rules, which I'm pretty sure you did, besides stepping up and saying something about this that liquor company, saying you deserve more, which you probably did, most likely, you know. But that's how it is, you know, because we're at the end of this thing, so that they don't have to honor what they say they're supposed to do. They have to honor what they did, because they like, you know, like what they did to Kanye. Obviously, they owe Kanye that money. You wouldn't have never sold that many Adidas. You would have never sold any of that type of thing. So you owe that man. You know, you're supposed to pay what you know what I mean? He did a service. He did what he was supposed to do. It did make your sales go up. It made a lot of things different. It doesn't matter what he said, right? But see, that's the devil. But see, you people, you Jakes, you love it. So that's why the Lord got to destroy you, And I hate his places, right? Right, the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations, the places where you're at, where you're in such a low condition. You somehow, the Lord set it up for you to look for Him, but here it is. You ignore the men that He sent because they look like you, right? Therefore will I deliver up the city with all that is therein, right? See, so this is a time back in the day when we lived in Jerusalem, we lived in Israel, and we were disobeying, we were following the gods of the heathen. And here you are in this, exiled, where you should be looking for the right way, looking for the old path, and pretty much doing the same thing all over again, following these other gods of these heathens, not paying attention to the prophets, the teachers, the exhortators, right? The evangelists, the Lord, the things that the Lord set up, man, as far as the ministry for the body to build you up. But hey, the Lord's going to save who He's going to save. That 11th hour is going to be influx of Israelites to believe, which is going to be set up through the Spirit. And the rest of you, you're going to die. The Lord said, I will deliver up the city with all that is therein. Hey, so a lot of, 2/3 is a big number compared to the 1/3. It's a huge number, and the Lord's gonna have to deliver you up, because you want to do your own thing, right? And it shall come to pass, if there remain 10 men in one house, right? Because people are gonna be scurrying, hiding, because they're gonna die in great number. So people are gonna be trying to hide and duck, and it might be 10 men in one house trying to hide from that judgment, right? Right? That they shall die. Yeah, see? Even though you're trying to escape that judgment, you're not gonna escape it, right? Because you did your own thing in Babylon the Great. When the Lord sought you and begged and pleaded with you, hey, you didn't want to listen. Yeah, so this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 11. For I am, right, which is talking about Yahweh. It says, I am with thee, saith Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh, to save thee, though I will make a full end of all the nations. So now we're in the time of what? Of World War III. We're in the time that the Lord's making a full end of all the nations, right? The wicked shall be revealed, right? Once the wicked's revealed, then that's the end. And then we could see that a lot of people not falling for the the lies of the small hatters. So they're being revealed on a high level. This is why they're trying to pass laws which prove that they have to be those people, because where in it in the scripture says that you'll be able to pass laws that no one can say anything about you. No, it says that you should be the proverbs and the bywords, right? You're gonna be of low condition. You're not gonna have any power to or any might, right? But they got a lot of power and a lot of might when you got the strongest military backing you up, right? And then you have laws in a place that's supposed to be a foreign country that defends you, but do not defend the citizens. So you got, these things, which most of those people are dual citizens of America and and Pisrael, right? And it's really Pisrael first, and not so-called America, right? But that's a beautiful thing because it shows you where we're at. We're at the end. So when the Lord's making, I will make a full end of the nations. That's World War III. So they got about a short time. Whither I scattered thee, right? And the Lord scatters it to the four corners of the earth, man, right? Now we have the brothers in the four corners of the earth, in the highways and the byways, preaching the end of this thing, man. Showing you, therefore, that this is the end. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans all over the world are teaching that this system is finished, right? Which you can see when you start passing laws. Why not just laugh? Those are just those crazy, N-words. Those crazy. They're just talking. It doesn't matter. It's not making any impact, but it is, right? Those tokens, those prophecies are coming to pass, right? It says, "Whither I have scattered thee, yet I will not make a full end of thee." See, so the Lord's gonna deliver the elect at the end of this World War III. The pestilence, things is happening, people passing away in a great number. The Lord's gonna take care and deliver the elect, right? But I will correct thee in measure, right? See, and as we've been woken up, the Lord has corrected us in measure, and a little here, a little there, and you can even see even in when you watch the apostles were really rough around the edges in the beginning, but as you can see, they're becoming more polished in their delivery. We're really in everything, right? 4 was just the prophecies, it's just the thing, but the prophecies he's doing his polished delivery. But then, hey, he's even bringing in health tips, showing you that he exercised, so giving you a full thing, a full, he says, I have not declared to show them the whole truth, right? Apostles talks about herbs, right? I mean, he talks about women. I mean, tells you about a man shall work. You know what I mean? He gives you the full spectrum, man. Right? I have not shunned to declare the whole gospel, right? Hey, there you go. The water Yahweh Bashem Shai. And I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So, hey, so 2/3 of you Israelites are going to be punished. Though the Lord has corrected us too. We've been punished, but we've been getting as measures. We've been being punished. So that way we don't get the punishment, the full blunt of the punishment with you 2/3, Lord willing, right? For thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, Rakah Quadash, says, thy bruises is incurable. See, that's you Jakes, man. The whole thing is you're in a place where now you're too far gone. It's incurable. And thy wounds is grievous. So you're about to go through Jacob's trouble in a grievous fashion. Where this devil's going to be putting no stops to it, putting out pestilence and all sorts of things, armies, militaries, man, you know. Yeah, so this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. It says, and Yahushai, right? Because there's no J's in the Paleo Hebrew. There's no E's in the Paleo Hebrew, right? You know, but we try to tell you that, and then you got Jakes that'll buck up against it and start bringing in. No, the letter J is no. It's that's the real name. See, just go look it up. Go look it up. You'll find Jakes bucking up against the truth, and it's evident that the Giorgio Chicino created the letter J. There's no way possible, because now you're not even talking, because normally we always say 2,000 years ago, but roughly around this time, it's about 3,000 years ago now, right? When the time our Lord lived. We're coming into that third day. We're at the third day. So we're talking 3,000 years ago now, right? So there's no way on God's green earth 3,000 years ago that the J is valid, bro. But they'll try to convert and corrupt the gospel, right? But we're trying to tell you the truth. So the letter J is fairly, it's just created. It's a made up thing, right? It's fairly new, only 400 to 500 years old. You can look it up. I mean, but so, and Yahushai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, right? Starting with his name, right? What's the father's name? What is the son's name? If thou can tell, that's in Proverbs. So that's letting you know that there's going to be a time where it's going to be prudent that you're going to have to have the name. If everybody know Jehovah, everybody know the word Jehovah and Jesus, right? So in Proverbs, if he say what is his name and what is his son's name, if thou can tell, then that's giving you a clue that everybody doesn't know it. Right? You have to find out that mystery. See? But here it is. The Lord set up men to give you that mystery, and you buck up against it. No, the J is it's okay. That's the real name. Okay. That's on you. So Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed, no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiachim, right? Basically saying they have the unction. Unction meaning a smearing, being anointing, right? And they're not anointed to teach, but they'll tell you that they are. And shall deceive many. See? Yeah, I'm anointed to teach. I'm you know? And ye shall hear of what? Of wars, right? So we're at that time. Wars, rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, continuing on. It says Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation. See, World War III. Because the Lord said that he's going to make an end of all these nations. But for the Lord to do that, what do those nations have to do? They have to rise against each other. Right? For nation shall rise against nation. What? And kingdom against kingdom. So you're going to have race wars. You're going to have actual wars. Right? Between these these different countries, these kingdoms. And that's why the Lord said rumors of wars, because like this whole Strait of Hormuz, yeah, right, Amuse. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's just amusing, cause but the Strait of Hormuz, it's really it's like a rumor of a war. They're not really having a war. It's just a way to jam up everything. The world's resources have an excuse to jam it up, right? Because if you think about it, they had no reason to go over there and fight. There wasn't like no. You just start a fight, and then now by the way, we can't get any goods or oil or anything. So, yeah, how convenient. Which is going to bring in what? It says kingdom against kingdom, and there should be what? Famines, right? So this thing is just going to, let's just block the Strait and let's pretend that we're doing, and then it's going to bring in what? Famine. And what? Pestilence. So that's the time that you're coming in, right? So, like that lady was saying, and even that guy, she put a clip on. The dude said, "Look at that. Doesn't that make sense? They're gonna bring in the mark of the beast under these conditions, right? Under famine, under pestilence. Now they can come in and say, hey, there's an emergency. We need to do this. You know what? And they're going to act like they have this bright idea. If you think about it, even during the time of the CV-19, every other vaccine took, I think the fastest they ever did one was 5 years, right? Any other vaccine, it's anywhere between 5 to 20 years to create a good one, like one that actually is good. They came in one in 9 months. Like they're just that brilliant. Oh no, it's because we have no. Your science is not that good, right? But a lot of you bit the you fell for it basically. Let's just say it that way. You fell for the BS, man. All for the sake of so-called going back to normal. And there is no going back to normal, right? All the normal is done. So famine, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. It says all these are the beginning of sorrow. See? And now you're just in the beginning of it. And you can hear people complaining. And it's just the beginning, so you ain't seen nothing yet. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, right? Because it's the time of Jacob's trouble. Time that these people are going to be, they're going to be sore afraid, but yet there's fight. We're coming to that time that people are going to have a choice, but to go through this judgment, right? But even the elect gonna have to go through something. See, why the Lord? This is dealing with the elect. It said, "Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you." Right? See, we're gonna go through some affliction, but it's gonna be for the truth's sake, right? You're gonna die because you were just a nigga, man. You're gonna die because you was just right. You was freaking you was community property. You gave your flower up, right, to every guy that went by. You know what I mean? Or you're a guy who gave to every guy, right? Or a chick to every little chick. right? Which those are no-nos, man. Those are things that the Lord's going to destroy you, Jakes, on, right? Because you want to be a gangbanger, a drug dealer. You want to stay here and vote. You want to rock the vote. You want to vote or die. But the Lord chooses. He's going to choose it for you. You're going to die, right? You love Esau's world, but Esau ultimately don't love you. But the whole thing is the Lord is putting well, this is the end of the thing. The Lord's coming. They know they have but a short time. The Lord's going to claim what belongs to Him. So, but it says, they're going to kill some of the, which is martyr. They basically martyr, and right when you go into the word martyr, it's a witness. See, because we're a witness to this madness, right? We sigh and cry for all the abominations as a witness against this place, even against you, Jakes, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Indian, you don't never want to get right. So we telling, right? We finna tell the Lord that you Jakes ain't getting right, and Esau, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, damn sure ain't right, and he ain't never gonna get right, right? And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. See, you're gonna hate us. You're gonna come against us. Right? Because you don't really love the Lord. Right? You love to say you believe in the Lord. You love to say all these things, but hey, when the truth is there, presented in front of your face, you can't see it. Beyond your wickedness, man. Yeah. So with all that, I want to give all praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. I'd like to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To your sisters, Shwatim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and above all, Kwam Yasharallah.